We were live like 5
restroom.
minutes ago.
We're gonna do all of this stuff live. We'll do it live.
And then she runs off right as it goes live. Nat, do the intro.
Welcome everybody to Twitch Tuesday on Wednesday. Now back on Tuesday. Now still on YouTube. My name is Nat. That is Dylan, and we're live. And that's Danie under there. She's gone to the bathroom or something. How's it going, Dylan?
Bathroom. I'm doing quite all right actually. It's been a long day. I was gonna critique how many times are we gonna have Twitch Tuesday returns or some variation of it as the title.
I titled this Twitch Tuesday returns from after a long hiatus on purpose.
I know
that's every episode.
I'm like, at this point, I'm fairly certain you're memeing me to just be like, how long can this go? Like, how long can this title be where it's like, again, after the second or third hiatus from the last time return?
Yeah.
Hey.
Also with us, Danie Joy. What a queen. Welcome back.
Hi, friends.
I almost shouted you out back in June, July. I think it would have been June or July because I was in Texas for a little bit. So
where were you in Texas?
I was in Dallas, though, which is like notably far from Corpus Christi.
8 hours, 7 to 8.
Yeah, that's the same distance from Kentucky to Florida. So I was like,
is that real? That's real. That's real.
Yeah, that's real. So from here, from where I live, which is like the bottom of Kentucky to like the top of Florida, is about 8 hours. So I was like, I don't think Danie's gonna drive that far if I'm just in town for a couple of days. And I wouldn't have blamed you. I was busy playing trading card games that tournament anyway. But
Texas is so wild. It's such a big state. Like driving 7 hours from one place to one place is kind of like a typical drive if you're trying to go anywhere in Texas. And I've always kind of like found that super fast. That's such a like from Kentucky to Florida, like it's the same amount of time from Corpus to Dallas. That's wild to me.
Yeah, that's a little frame fact for your brain on that one today. But what's the closest city outside of Texas to Corpus then? With like how close is like New Orleans to like Corpus Christi?
New Orleans is also probably about 7 hours away.
Get the fuck out. It's really that far?
Yeah, so Houston, from me, where I'm at, Houston is 4 hours away.
Yeah.
And from Houston to Louisiana is about 3 hours. 2.5 to 3 hours. And then Louisiana is on the farther east side of Louisiana. Or New Orleans is on the east side of Louisiana, the southeast side of Louisiana. So but Louisiana is also not wide, like compared to Texas. It's not wide.
It's very shaped like that. Kentucky is wide, but we're like, it's so funny. So you're talking about like Texas and 7 and 8s, and like you can go through the entire state of Kentucky up, and I don't know about east to west. It might take a little bit longer east to west, but I know to north to south is about 4 hours, give take. Like I could get to Indianapolis, Cincinnati, and Nashville within 4 hour drives of each. Well, Nashville's like an hour, but like, yeah, those are just all the major cities like right next to us. And you're like, I have to drive 7 within the same state to get to Dallas.
Yeah.
Danie, how can we convince you to move from Texas to? Listen, I've half gotten that moved, and not to Kentucky. Hear me out. Also, Ferris is in the chat. Ferris. Corpus Christi in the town in the middle of nowhere. Woo, Kentucky.
It's super south. Ferris is like in Houston or something like that. So they're in a bigger space than I am.
Right. Harold says the same amount of time to drive across Phoenix in the middle of the day. Phoenix is such a shit show. We love knocking on.
I hate Phoenix. I legit had the thought like maybe I should like just go visit Danie one of these days because I have family down in Houston. But then I look it up and I'm like 15 hours. I'm not driving that far.
It's not that bad. I used to live in El Paso. I lived in El Paso for a little while, and I drove home. And the drive from El Paso to Corpus, El Paso is on the farthest east. It's like the biggest east, the biggest west town in Texas. And it's at the very pinpoint of Texas. So from there to Corpus, it's an 11-hour drive. So it's not that bad.
Yeah, like I remember thinking like the one time we've driven from like West Coast to East Coast, like West Coast to like Kentucky. Like if you're going through Texas, that's like the whole day. Like it's so annoying because you're just like, well, and we're in Texas for a while, and then we're still there for a while. Ferris says, "I'm not from Houston." Who told you that, Danie?
I don't know. Wait. I'm sorry. Oh, Ferris, I'm sorry. I'm absolutely getting my friends confused at this moment. It's been a while. I'm sorry.
Listen,
I absolutely got that confused. I know you're not from Texas.
Ferris,
You're like in New York?
Maybe. No, that's
he's in California.
He's in California. Okay. Ferris, I'm so sorry.
I was in Tucson, Arizona recently. Arizona smelled weird.
And you didn't tell me you were in Tucson like Paul did? What the hell? What's everyone going to Tucson? I'm not telling
everyone. Danie, did you hear about this drama?
About everyone going to Tucson?
Yeah. So specifically, Paul was in Tucson, right? This was this was the last time we had an episode where I think we were talking shit about Paul. Paul was in Tucson, literally Nat's backyard. Like it would have taken Nat 5, maybe 10 minutes to drive over to PJ's house, and didn't tell him that didn't tell Nat he was in Tucson. Like he found out after the fact on social media because he made a post at PJ's house.
Yeah,
I found out on Twitter.
Yeah, bro, can you imagine? I'm in Corpus Christi. First of all, period. Just
I'd
imagine
be so pissed. I'd be pissed at
if I was in Corpus Christi and you found out that I'm just chilling, just vibing, hanging out with any one of your other mutual friends, like.
I'd be so mad. I wouldn't just be mad at, let's say that it was Dylan. I wouldn't just be mad at Dylan. I would be mad at Nat for not telling me that Dylan was coming to Corpus.
Yeah.
Paul
fucked up on that one, bro.
Just a tiny bit.
Paul, that's like I'm gonna go full fields, Danie. You'll appreciate this. First of all, I was mad for Nat, but like I wasn't even mad. I was hurt.
I'm kind of sad right now too.
You were more sad about this than I was.
I probably was. Listen, I travel out of my way if I'm even within like maybe 2 or 3 hours of the ballpark area to go see the homies if I'm nearby, right? So
if any of you go to Houston, please reach out. I will go to Houston. It's not that far.
I'll let you know if I'm in Houston, Danie.
Thank you.
God, I don't know why I would go to Houston, but if I am in Houston, listen, Dallas kind of sucks too, for what it's worth. So
Texas kind of sucks, but Texas, hey, you didn't hear that from me.
Kind of sucks. No, that's fine. We say it all the time on the show.
Someone clip that out.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. No.
We're trying to get people from not moving there, right? Isn't everybody moving to Texas? It's the new tech hub, guys. Jeremy says, I've passed by Houston, but I haven't stayed there. Yeah, that's probably the right vibe. I changed planes at Houston a month ago. Bro.
Which airport were you at?
Yeah, let's go to Houston. Road trip through air. Ferris, are you just saying to fly there?
Yeah, come to Texas. Also, I can't see the chat because I logged in on my phone. And I feel like even if I did log into StreamYard on my computer, it's been so long. I don't know if it would remember Paul's password.
I promise it's not logged in. It's changed probably twice.
Probably.
Yeah, it kicks you out after like 3 weeks.
Yeah, so you're like super logged out.
Yeah.
So Danie, okay, I keep up as you post on Facebook because we're of that age, right? So whenever you're
once a year,
when you post your like once a year thing on Facebook, you've been thriving, and what a lovely, pleasant surprise. So I want to hear about what you've been up to in the past. Yes.
In the past, yes.
Yes.
In the past, yes, I've been up to just working. If anyone didn't know before, I do hair. I'm a hairdresser. Been a hairdresser for about 12, going on 13 years at this point now. So I've been teaching.
Just a hairdresser, though, girl. Let's not downplay it now. At this point, we see the accolades.
Thank you. I really do appreciate that. But I'm teaching now. I'm teaching at a cosmetology school here in Corpus at the Aveda Institute, which is my alumni. So that's where I got my cosmetology education from the same place that I'm teaching at now.
Right.
And it's been really rewarding and a lot of fun. And I love to teach. I love to talk. All of that stuff. So
they go hand in hand, right? Like
yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Like information is just a big deal. So I've been teaching, and it's been really rewarding, really fulfilling, and just kind of taking up a lot of my fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a while. So yeah, that's what I've been up to, really, truly.
Follow-up question. Have you seen Taylor Swift live since she's been doing the Eras tour?
No. So fun fact about the C2A chat. You heard it earlier. I don't know if we said it when we were on live because I can't remember.
No,
when we
it
were
wasn't when we were live. No.
Okay, so fun fact: we talked like 10 minutes before we started going.
Yeah.
But we also talked about how the C2A chat right now has been overrun by Swifties. Me, Danie, and Kelsey have absolutely taken over that chat and have just been talking about Taylor Swift. But I didn't really start listening to Taylor Swift actively until 1989. 1989 was one of my favorite albums that came out, and then just really didn't until Folklore came out again. I don't know how many years between that because I'm not a true Swiftie, anything like that.
Same. This is a safe no Swiftie space, all right? None of us are diehards through and through here.
None of us are.
What do you mean? I love Taylor Swift.
Shut up, Matt.
That knows all the words to all the songs, knows all of the vault
Evermore
albums.
is the album to my life. Like it speaks to my soul. I love
honestly,
the imposter level with this man. Anyways, so
honestly though, I think if Nat listened to 1989, I think
the Make or Break album for him. Is that the one that gets him in?
That was the album for me that I was like, you know what, I can listen to Taylor Swift. And I did. And now with all of the like Taylor's versions and stuff like that coming out, I'm kind of getting into it. I love the lore. Listen, I love the Taylor Swift lore. There's so much behind it. It's wild.
This girl knows how to make a geekdom, right?
Say that again.
This girl knows how to make a geekdom. Am I right? Like people. My sister-in-law, right? So my sister-in-law is like hardcore, and my brother-in-law, hardcore. Like Taylorites, right? Like I don't know if that's an official term, but like I'm using it. Like
it is now.
It is now.
Truly studied of the Bible of the Swift. You know what I mean? Like it's so deep in the sauce. Where you're reading between the lines of every song and every text message and everything that comes out.
You have to at this point. You have to understand the context of the song.
It's so
wild.
Yeah.
Dylan, I'm telling you, it is so worth it. Like once it will change your life. All right.
I can't. Nat, one day.
I will say that the Taylor version of Speak Now, this is gonna be blasphemous, but like I don't like it as much as the stolen version. Like I feel like the production was like a lot worse. You're buying this, right? I'm doing a really good job selling this.
Bro, I'm so sick of you right now. I'm so sick of it. I can't wait until you go on a blind date with the girl. Like you're gonna get Tinder dated to her.
No.
And she's gonna quiz you, and you're gonna be regurgitating the fucking
literally everything I just said. Like I got
literally gonna read the chat.
Yeah, verbatim. You're gonna remember what everybody said in the chat, and you're just gonna spit it out, and you're gonna at least hook up with this girl, man. Like
at little minimum level.
Yeah, but she's gonna write poetry or something about you afterwards, and you're gonna have to deal with that. Like
she's gonna stalk your social media, unfortunately.
Yeah,
she's gonna watch all of our old shows. Oh no.
How wild would that be?
That's actually like one of my biggest fears when I'm dating someone. Is like, she's gonna go back and watch her old videos.
Right.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
Dylan, you're married. So this does not pertain to you. Nat, when you go on dates, you tell people about this?
Yeah, I do.
Do you really?
I do, yeah.
I don't.
I mean, it's a big part of my life. I gotta like be honest.
Yeah.
It's a huge part of my life, and this is still something that I kind of don't tell people.
Danie, this has been like, all right, how many years now? This has been at least 6 years of your life, at least.
Yeah.
You are the 2-time award winner for a thing in this.
Okay, I do mention it, but I don't think that I'm never sharing links to anything.
No, I don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't share links. I just tell people I do it.
Yeah, no, I do mention it because movies are a big part of my life still, right. And like I love movies, and anytime that I go on a date or anything, knowing where someone is with movies is a big deal for me. So if you don't care about movies, fine. That's cool. I get it. But if you don't have a minimum a minimal comprehension of stuff, I don't know how to explain this.
Yeah.
So
it's so weird when I talk to a normal person who's not as into like the phone world as we are. Like
Yeah.
if you like go on TikTok and use like this trend of like people trying to guess like the celebrities, then they pop up like 3 celebrities and they have to name them all. It's like it's shocking how little people know. Like
Yeah.
like that's clearly Timothy Chalamet, you know?
Mhm. You can recognize that
wild.
sharp face anywhere, right? The cheeks, they'll just poke you right at it. No, so here's what I think is really funny about this, though, right? To Danie, to your point, I think it's one of those things where it becomes the question. I always kind of hear it as this idea of like when you're getting told two truths and a lie, and then like that's such a good one to throw in. Well, I'm a double award-winning podcaster. I rock climb. I'm a Gemini. You know, like it's just like, how do you not low-key flex that and like something like that?
I think that whole prompt right there might be my next one. 2 truths and a lie. 2-time award-winning podcaster. I rock climb, which is the lie, and I'm a Gemini.
Yeah, for me too.
Yeah.
Wild. We can all use that. That's so wild for all of us.
So
I love that for us.
You want to know my favorite dating question, which I never use because I'm married? Well, that's not true. I guess I could still technically go on dates, but I don't. No. So the point
I
is,
love the Hannah in this house.
Listen, lots of love for everybody. But I think my favorite question to get to know anybody, and this was one that I've curated through work a little bit, is all right, well, what's something that you like to geek about? What's one of your favorite things to geek out about? Yeah. And like inherently, I think about how I would answer those questions myself, and I'm always about 2 degrees away from like not necessarily Schmodown. I think for me, at this point, it's just like podcasting in general, because again, I do a bunch of weird podcast, a lot less successful podcasting with a couple buddies of mine and stuff like that as well. But it's the idea where I'm just like, I just don't know how to shut up and put a camera to it. Mostly, that's what it comes down to. Yeah. With a certain amount of ego, you know.
I think if we want to like go ahead and tie this into like zodiacs, I think because most of us are air signs.
Please 100%. Do.
100%. Geminis, air signs just like to talk. That's I don't know. We like to think. We like to talk. There's nothing we can do about it.
How does that translate to being an earth sign though? Because I'm Virgo grounded through and through. So
So Virgos are also very similar to Geminis because they're both mutable. There's whatever that is. Geminis and Virgos are both the same sort of thing. So in my opinion, the hyper fixation that happens, that's the similarities between Geminis and Virgos. There's a lot of like hyper fixation that kind of happens. Perfectionism, I guess, is kind of like another word to put onto it. But like Virgos and Geminis also do have like a pretty similar. They are opposite from each other, but they are on the same spectrum from something I can't remember exactly what it is. But it's wild between that. And I think it's just with earth signs, because I have an earth moon. I'm an air sun with an earth moon.
I see that for you. I totally get that.
Total chill, but I like to talk.
Yeah, chill behind the scenes, but like low key, I'm gonna geek with you if you let me. Like, give me the 100%. Night, and then I'll talk your face off with it.
That's it, right there. Let me get comfortable, and I'm gonna talk shit out of it.
Right.
That's what it is, and I think that's the same thing for Virgos too. Like, you have to find like some sort of like comfortability to be able to feel like you can fully express yourself in a way that's accepted, like where you don't feel like you're being judged for your viewpoint. But most Virgos typically don't care about stuff like that. They're just gonna say it.
We're just too busy successfully killing people because we can emotionally detach. So
that part.
Yeah.
But we all know, because of C2A lore, Leos are the most toxic.
Yeah, Leos are the most toxic. Absolutely, no question. I'm on the cusp of being a Leo, though. Apparently, I have some Leo signs too. That's what my friend who is like a hardcore Leo tells me all the time. She's
technically all of us have a sign that attributes to one part of us. If you think about your houses, we have 12 houses. Each of those houses are assigned a zodiac, and that just rules our house. So technically, like even if you are like, let's say that you're a Virgo sun, Gemini moon, Taurus rising, whatever, a Scorpio placement is going to be somewhere in your house. So let's say that you have like Scorpio placement in house 8, which is house 8 typically represents like your sexuality and stuff like that. So just because you have a Taurus moon, or let's say a Taurus rising, no, that wouldn't work out the same way. Let's say that you have a Taurus moon, but you have Scorpio ruling your 8th house. Sure, you're chill. You want to vibe. You want to be with someone that's grounded because your Scorpio's in your 8th house. Probably going to be a little bit more flirty and stuff like that. So just little things like that. There's all aspects. Like every part of the zodiac will have it. That's why people who like deny zodiac say, well, I relate to that. Yeah, probably because you have strong house placements in that specific sign.
All right, so now there's whole cul-de-sacs in the zodiac, and I'm a visual learner, so I would love to see like a picture of how this all gets spanned out. But that's a lot of whiteboard stuff. That's a lot of whiteboard stuff, and I don't know if you've got that ready on hand. But
oh, that's funny that you said that. I have to use the restroom. I'll be right back.
Go for it. I miss Danie's transition.
I miss her so much. Like it took us all of 15 minutes to bring up astrology. I knew that would happen.
I'm surprised it took us that long, actually, to be honest. Meanwhile, in the chat, everybody is waiting for the Travis Kelce song. Yeah, you're only a Leo. You're only a Leo is you wear a blue headband over your eyes. I don't know what that means, but Danie definitely knew what that means. Because you can hear cackling in the
I need someone to explain that to me.
Can you hear me from all the way over there?
We absolutely did, which made it even funnier to us.
That's very funny. I didn't mute my mic. I just went to the restroom.
Okay, so Danie, what does that mean? Because you were...
Okay, wait. I heard a little bit of it. Leos are...
There we go.
You're only a Leo if you wear a blue headband over your eyes. The only reason why I laughed at that was because it was so specific to Leos, and I just didn't understand why a blue headband over your eyes represented Leos. But hey, that's...
Okay, so here's the real question, though. Can you see Danie costs like...
Oh, it's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reference. I just got it.
Oh, Leonardo! Okay. Thank you. Hey, you know what? You got there before Harold posted the turtle, at least.
I did. So,
$1 million IQ brain, Nat, over here.
It's all that Taylor Swift we're listening to.
I wish I was that smart.
Listen, through Taylor, all things is possible, Danie. You just have to commit it.
That was amazing. That was really good. Will, oh my God, that was really good.
What a journey we just went on with that.
We did. That
was fantastic.
Yeah. So, Danie, it's been a second. We haven't got to do a no chill segment in a while. So every time I see you, I'm so full of love for you, but I also want to pick on you because that is our family relationship here. So, unprompted, I think it's a great time for me and Nat to bring back no chill for a 1-minute segment with Danie Joy. All right, I gotta wait. Nat hates when I put him on the spot. So, Nat, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a small prompt.
I don't have the...
And I prepped for this.
There it is. The green flame and everything. Okay.
Let's go.
All right. Nat, why do girls that are the Gemini babes, the Astro babes, why are they so convinced that that's a whole personality?
I don't know, Dylan, why?
That wasn't a good follow-up, Nat. Like, we're so rusty on this. So.
I wasn't prepared for this. I didn't know we were doing this.
This isn't knock. You just gotta, it's just criticisms. It's just.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to set you up for the joke.
No, I'm setting it for nothing. Okay. All right. Listen, we're a little rusty. Okay. Okay. Hold on.
You had a punchline in mind.
I got another one. It's no punchline. Just I'm setting you up here. Okay.
You gotta understand that you were always the improv guy. Like I write my material. Right?
I know.
It's a yes and. You just gotta yes and the whole way, babe.
Yes and is the immaculate part of improv. You just said
this is Danie's no chill. This is not my no chill. Like, why don't you?
Okay, well here, surprise, no chill, featuring me and Danie.
God damn it,
Danie. What's worse? Sincerely, I don't know. This is me genuinely asking. Is there anything worse than somebody faking being a Swiftie to blend in and try to sit there and...
Who could that be?
I think the worst part about faking being a Swiftie is faking understand football stats. Nat, can you go ahead and tell me everything that you know about football right now? Exactly.
Everything
Nat,
I know
next
about
question. So, can you describe what a first down is?
Yeah, a first down is when you go past the 10-yard limit and then you get a new
Wrong.
set of downs.
A first down is when Travis Kelce actually lands one of the biggest pop stars ever. That's a first down. Can you tell me what
This is going great.
I'm trying my best here.
No, you're good. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Can you tell me what a point guard is in football?
Point guard's basketball.
No,
different sport.
not. There's also a point guard in football. I don't know what it is, but I do know that it's there.
Yeah, Gene. Yeah. Okay. Hannah's off screen, just saying goodnight. So.
Okay. Hi, Hannah.
Hi, Hannah.
Yeah, they say night. She says night. Yeah.
Hannah here.
Nat, here's the thing that drives me up the wall, right? The thing that actually kills me, not fake kills me, actually kills me. You're somebody who truly, you're a geek. Well, listen, we're all geeks on screen. All the screen members here are massive geeks. So for you to fake geek it is like one of the most insulting.
What do you mean? I love Taylor Swift. Like,
it's one of the most insulting things. All right, what's the third song on her fourth album? Without looking it up.
To Shake It Off. You can't prove I'm wrong. You can't prove I'm wrong.
Yes, I can. It's very easy to fact check. So let's go to Taylor Swift and let that roll. All right, Taylor. Come on. Spotify.
Her fourth album. This is great content. I love this.
Show all Taylor's version. I don't care about your version. Hot take.
Too, because
you got it. Taylor's versions are generally better than the solo version. Just not.
Okay, explain Taylor's version. Nah.
Well, Taylor's version is because she the studios didn't like give her the rights, so they screwed out her money. So she's re-releasing these songs, and she's redoing them as Taylor's version.
I knew You Were Trouble would be the song of question.
Nope, that is the stolen version. That's not the Taylor's version. That's fourth album was actually the Taylor's version.
If we're going to the Taylor version, there isn't a fourth album that's currently been tailored. There's only been one.
See, that's where you're wrong because you're not counting Dear John from her other album.
There's a maximum of 3 Taylor's version albums currently on Spotify.
Is that true?
Yeah, I just fact checked it.
Okay, I believe you.
Yeah. So here's the thing, Nat. A real Taylor fan, a real Swiftie would have known that there's not a fourth album, third song, and a Taylor version because she hasn't dropped the third one yet. That was a trick.
Well, you weren't asking about Taylor version. You just asking about regular versions.
You're right, and then you insisted it was a Taylor version, which there isn't.
I don't know what you're talking about, Dylan. Like this doesn't make any sense. Like no. I got it right. Let's just rewind the tape. I got it right. Speak now.
What's your biggest fear? That you'll be exposed as a fraud, or that they'll actually believe you, and then you'll have to.
I'm literally wearing an Errors t-shirt, Errors store t-shirt. All right.
I believe that's John Hamm.
That is literally John Hamm.
Okay, first of all, this is Ken O'Roy from the hit show Succession.
I believe that is John Hamm.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a fair point. It's John Hamm.
So for the record, Danie, you missed it when we were covering Succession. Okay, we can go back to the regular show now.
Okay. Hi, hello.
Nat's anxiety is going to get really spicy.
It is Ken O'Roy.
Where's the?
Which is a great shirt, Nat. By the way, that's a really good shirt.
Thank you.
That's fitting.
It's so good.
This is fitting. My favorite thing to do whenever we were covering Succession was to try to spoil the ending, and I was convinced, and I'm still not convinced this doesn't happen. At the end, whenever they're trying to figure out the ending for Succession, that it was like Willem Dafoe would come in and he's just like, "Hey, it's me. I'm the Succession," and it just would be roll credits immediately on the dot. Like that's how the show resolves.
But why Willem Dafoe?
It just seems like the most unlikely person to be a part of that show.
So you could have picked any, like you just want to pick any actor to just come in and say, "Hey, I'm taking over." roll credits.
Here's the thing.
So like Leo DiCaprio could fit in that spot. Is that
too? Leo feels a little too A-list for the show's vibe, right? Like,
okay?
Right?
Oh, Leo's A-list, but Bill Skarsgård is not.
Bill Skarsgård is not. He's not like tippity top A-list, right? Am I wrong? He's probably not even a top Skarsgård.
No.
It wasn't even Bill Skarsgård. It was a different Skarsgård.
Right.
It's Skarsgård. It's not Bill. It's Alexander, right?
Yeah. Was it Alexander?
Yeah.
Wait, is Alexander the one that's in? I keep forgetting which Skarsgård is which. Alexander's the tall blonde.
That's the True Blood one.
Yeah, True Blood one. Okay.
Yeah, that's Alexander. Bill is Pennywise.
Yeah, Bill's Pennywise, and then I was trying to think
who
the
their
dad is. Yeah, the dad who's incredibly talented and Andor. Yeah.
There's one more Skarsgård, but not as much.
We don't talk about that one, Danie.
No. I'm just saying there's one more Skarsgård, but they're just not as well known as the other ones. That's what I'm saying.
So in politics today, Smithy points out Kentucky just voted in a blue guy for governor 2 times in a row. That's Andy Beshear by 24 points? 24 points or 31? We killed it. We are so racist, so red, but by God, Andy killed it during COVID, and we respect that. So,
Kentucky also apparently has a town called Versailles, but it's pronounced Versailles.
It's Versailles. The city is actually called Versailles, Kentucky. Yes. If you call it Versailles, they will fucking shoot you out.
Really? Because I've always called it Versailles. It's not Versailles. It's Versailles.
It's Versailles.
Okay.
Oh, Nat.
I'm never moving against Kentucky.
It doesn't.
I'm moving somewhere else.
Nat, look up So, do you know how Louisville would be like the passing translate? Louisville. Good for you. Less syllables. You got to hit the O's. Yeah.
I'm a sports fan. I know Louisville.
Oh, I don't know. Sports is trying to roll them out on that one.
There's a city in Texas called Bernie. You pronounce it Bernie, but it's spelled. I'm totally wrong on the spelling. I'm so sorry that Google is not here for me at this moment, but I'm pretty sure it's spelled Borne. Borne, but you pronounce it Bernie.
Yeah. So kind of like it'd be like born, like as like a pronunciation, but
that's what I'm seeing is that it's like spelled like born, but it's pronounced Bernie.
Oh, okay. So, Danie, you've moved a couple times. You're killing it as a teacher. You're the hair princess of the state. What's next? That's what I want to know. I'm trying to get ahead of the curve for your next hiatus so that the next time we check in, I'm like, girl, I already knew you told me this last time we hung out.
That's very funny. I don't know. We shall see. I'm very much into this part of my career, this education part of my career, and all of that stuff right now. So we'll see from there.
I'm hearing a lot of the career stuff, but I'm not hearing about the girl behind the career. There's a whole life outside of that, Danie, and you're a big old geek. So we got Pride stuff. We got any partners in the scene? We got some new geekdoms that you're getting into. What's up?
No. Absolutely not. I will say that I finished The Boys very recently. So I finally watched The Boys. Did not watch it during the pandemic.
Yeah.
But I did finally watch it and finished it. I'm going to watch Generation V soon. Because I guess now you have to watch all the spin-off shows.
Allegedly.
To get the main context.
I kind of just don't want to watch it. Like.
I'm almost there.
Yeah, I'm at the point where I'm like, I enjoy The Boys enough, right? Like The Boys is good. I'm not gonna go to my say it's great. It has moments, but it's mostly just good.
Yeah, it's good. So it's good.
Right. So the idea of watching like Gen V be fine to good, I'm already kind of doing that a whole lot with everything else.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I have any more room for fine. William Harold asked, is Chill coming back for this season of Smowdown? Yes, it's been confirmed right here. Danie is hosting. So, okay, we're into The Boys right now. You might have to be watching Gen V. Okay, so you're go on.
I will say that I am genuinely I was genuinely thinking about so there was a tiny side project that I was doing for a little while called Watch the Book. basically where it was comparing
the movie and the books on that one.
Yeah, adaptations like from the book to the movie and stuff like that. And pretty recently, like it just kind of like talking and podcasting and stuff like that has kind of like been inside of my brain for a little bit. And I think if like there was an avenue where I felt most comfortable with it, other than being here with you guys, it would be getting back into watch the book. And I think that's kind of what I want to do for 2024 is possibly try to update on that just a little bit more.
So you're trying to podcast again? That's what I'm hearing?
Yeah, a little bit, maybe.
Yay! Look at her. Podcast for 6 years straight and then takes a break and suddenly wants to get back into it.
You know, you gotta miss it, right? So
I wouldn't know. Me and Ned have never stopped. So
never stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. And it's not just an excuse for us to hang out at least once a month online with everybody watching. It's fine. It's because we love the art, Danie. You know, we are I don't know if you know this, we're professional podcasters.
Oh, at this point, yeah. When you do something for over 10,000 hours, technically you're a professional at it, right?
Yeah.
That's the 10,000 hour rule. We've been at this. You all have been part of this.
I want to see the number. Like, that's one of those things that you like. Yeah. Okay, YouTube could straight up tell us, but like, I want to see the number. That's like one of those, like when you're in heaven, what, like you can look up your stats, and I'm like, how many hours did I podcast? But for real, like
the other day, it's so funny. Nat, truly, the other day, like literally like 2 days ago, I genuinely replayed like the whole time that we first went live on the air, like on accident.
Yeah. I remember that.
That's peak moment. Yeah.
We had such a beat, like we had such a beat for like how we did it for so long up into that point, because we all knew that like we were recording, but the visual would never come up. We could see each other whenever we were recording, so it was always kind of like making sure that you're available like this to talk to your friends online, because that's kind of what it was back then. But to just kind of like accidentally have it happen, and then all of a sudden that's kind of where everyone else was. Like,
yeah,
it is like, kind of weird. It was
just such a special moment because like we were the first ones to like do that, and it wasn't on purpose at all. I remember doing that. I think total
accident. The point where like Paul is like, "Hey, Andrew just sent me a text message right now."
Yeah.
Or who was it? Who got the text?
I think it might have been Paul, because Paul went on the show.
Yeah,
but it was Andrew Ghai. It was Andrew Ghai specifically that was like, "Do you guys know you're live right now?"
And the chat had been going on for a while. Like, we didn't even notice until like someone said something like, "Andrew Ghai's in the chat. He's asking if you're live. You know you're live." And it was like,
chat? Oh. What do you mean chat?
What chat? So that prompted me to randomly go through some of our call to action videos. And about 4, so this one's just for Nat for right now. This is the one I could find for Nat. About 4 years ago, the last time I was in Tucson, me and Nat covered Shy Rolls versus The Odd Couple.
Yeah.
And just to show the picture of how we look. First of all, what a zaddy.
My babies.
What a zaddy that Nat looks like now compared to then, which is not to say that he's not a handsome guy here, but...
No, you both are very handsome guys. Don't let anyone gaslight you.
Yeah. Also, it's the hairline. Also, God, my hair was killing it at that time. Look at that. I would murder to get that.
Look at my babies.
I know.
Why would you do this to me right now?
Because
so fun.
Because it's still a no chill episode, sponsored by Google, which is what at the top. I'm looking through, like, I just hit like popular videos on it, which always surprises me what are like top grossing like videos were, so to speak, on that.
It's the fucking John Roca video, isn't it?
Surprisingly, no. It's the Harloff Returns chill to action one.
The second one?
The second one.
Wow.
We had a response to Brandon Hanna. What was that? I don't remember that. Was that him?
It was him going heel on us.
It was him going heel on us, and we were just like, that's why we had some rebuttal video. You know what? That's worth watching. Let's go ahead and get flagged for showing.
Let's bring that up.
Hold on. I want to listen to that one.
Oh, good times.
Okay, so here's Paul.
Look at Paul's face.
Brandon Hanna.
Can you guys hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I got a lot of messages last night. Have you seen the Brandon Hanna video? What are your thoughts about the Brandon Hanna video? Well, of course, I watched the Brandon Hanna video because I was a loyal supporter of Brandon Hanna. So I watched all 7 minutes, Brandon. All 7 minutes full of hot man air without the man. And in those 7 minutes, you managed to completely change the narrative. Congratulations, Brandon. You managed to take a big, festering dump all over everyone and anyone who ever supported you. Janine the Machine, your best friend. Kate Mulligan, who drafted you.
Good times.
Brendan Meyer, Ben and Drew.
Do you guys ever think that we're kind of cheesy?
Yeah.
Yeah. But in a good way.
In a good way.
In the best way, I think.
Yeah.
I think. But okay, like, are you talking about like right now in this moment? Or are you talking about in that moment when that happened?
I mean, all of it, but even in this moment, reflectively, I think about some of our content, and I'm like, low key, like, we're so cheesy. Why? Like, it's not like derogatory, although it's gonna sound that way. I'm like, why do people like us? And then I'm like, that's part of the charm, though. Like,
it's cheesy enough to not talk about it on a first date.
Okay, now you're spitting.
Thank you. But it's fun enough to talk about it after you've been dating for a month.
Yes.
Because this is like, yes, it is cheesy. It's the whole schmodown was fucking cheesy. Fuck y'all if you disagree. It was fucking
No, you're
cheesy.
right. It was the
It really was. Yeah. But it was so much fun. We had so much fun. All of us. None of us can deny how much fucking fun we had watching the schmodown, going through the schmo. We had so much fun. It was fun. Was it cheesy? Maybe a little bit. To dramatize movie trivia. Like when I tell people it's movie trivia with a WWE flair, like the face that I get back, we all understand that. Yeah. We all accept it. But door! I miss all my friends. But no. Was it cheesy? Sure, 100%. But we fucking loved it. We ate that shit up, and it was fine. It's 100. I miss it. I miss it so much. Genuinely do. I miss it. I miss the people. I miss the vibe. Like I miss creating content for it. All of that. I miss it. It was so much fun. Was it cheesy? Yeah. Fuck yeah. But it was so much fun. So much fun.
If Schmodown came back tomorrow, would we be right back in the saddle?
100%. 100%.
You don't think we're retired?
Stop me from talking about it if it came back.
You wouldn't be retired straight up? You wouldn't be like, it's time to let them
back in a heartbeat. I would full blown be back. 100%. I miss it so much. I do.
I don't know, guys. I don't know if I would. You know, I've been doing Notch Schmodown. I've been doing Notch Schmodown for so many years now. I don't even remember how to talk about Schmodown.
I think that's a lie that you're telling yourself, Dylan.
No. So, okay, here's a funny story really quick that's like adjacent to this. So, now I was playing Marvel Snap recently, right?
Yeah.
And then I got a title that was called AKA The Boss. And it was so hard for me not to change my name.
I have that title.
Yeah, it was so hard not to change my name to Ben Bateman, AKA The Boss. And then I'm like, who the fuck would get that? Nobody would get that, dude. Get Kristen 10,000 Patreons and we'll get a Schmodown free for all. I mean, that sounds like too much work for us. Listen,
too much work.
We've given Christian Harloff about 10,000 hours worth of free labor already.
I think I've given that man maybe 5,000 of my own dollars.
Yes, we've given that man so much of our time, resource. Like,
not mad at it.
Not mad. I'm mad. I'm mad sometimes.
I'm not mad at
sometimes
it.
I get mad.
Whatever.
Yeah. So there's a couple times I've wanted to do the deep cut geeky stuff where it's like, oh, I'll just change my name to Ben Bateman on Marvel Snap with that title because it's the only thing that makes sense. And I'm like, and then this is when I think to myself, are we cheesy? You know?
I was watching. Yesterday. Oh, this is nothing to do with Schmodown, something different. Okay, so I was next that story. I was on Twitter. I was Was it on Twitter? It was somewhere. I can't remember.
It's X now, but you're welcome.
Don't start with that.
I'm gonna leave now.
No, don't.
No. So I was scrolling and someone had mentioned Apex Legends. It was like from something that like absolutely someone who I know was not a part of the Schmodown, anything like that. But they had brought up like Apex Legends, and I was like, oh my god, do you know Andrew Ghai? I was like, oh, I fucking nerded out. And this like the story that I was going to tell, Jacob Wysocki has nothing to do with the Schmodown, but very recently I started getting into Dropout. Are y'all into Dropout?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Actually is one of my favorite shows.
I fucking love Actually.
It's
I
so
love
good.
Dropout. All of that stuff.
Yeah.
Best subscription that I have. It's worth it. 100%. So Jacob Wysocki is a person who comes out on a lot of Dropout content. And I just recently watched Pitch Perfect. And Jacob Wysocki fucking has a full on the screen. David Del Rio is also in Pitch Perfect. So when I was going through the credit, because I saw Jacob Wysocki and I was like, oh fuck yeah, tight. So I was waiting for the credits to roll through, paused it so I could make sure that it was Jacob Wysocki, and then I saw that David Del Rio was on there, and it like. David Del Rio is obviously someone who we know from the Schmodown, stuff like that. But it's little moments like that where I'm immensely proud of people who were part of the Schmodown, and I see them do other things that are outside of the Schmodown, and it's wild, like how much I will absolutely fucking support anyone that I know that has been a part of the Schmodown just because they were in it. So.
Right.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. Like I recently sent a TikTok to the Cyber the chat of Frankie Alvarez and his podcast, because his podcast legit is all over TikTok. Like every other TikTok I see is Frankie Alvarez, and it's crazy. Like I was on the podcast with this guy, and he's blowing up on TikTok.
Right. You have legit proof to be able to say, I was fucking talking to this guy. We were chilling the other day. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's so cool.
I always come back to, and this wasn't even like, I can't even remember a time where I was even on screen with Levine, but like obviously Levine, who's like a real actor. You get this, Danie. So we recently did a review of Freaks and Geeks, and I'm like, yeah, it's really funny seeing Sam Levine to be an actor. Like, that's the best way to describe it, because it's just like, oh, there he is. And I was like, it's so strange seeing him not do movie trivia. And then what was the other one? Oh, Brendan Meyer. Every time he comes into anything, I'm just like, motherfucker, I have roasted that guy. I've had a 15-minute episode of like getting up with him, and he's frankly the nicest person I probably know. Like,
I do think that like it's a lot of fun to think. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, go ahead.
I do think that for all of us, like not just like us here, but like anyone that has been a part of the Schmodown fandom, I do think that it's a lot of fun for us as a subset of fans to see these people that maybe when they did it that one time that they did it, maybe didn't think anything of it, but like how much like us as fans kind of like will respond and react to whenever we see someone that was a part of the Schmodown. I think that's a fun thing to take. And it's wild. Like if we really think about like all of the personalities that were on the Schmodown and like what they're doing now, and like where a lot, like I think about Perry Nemiroff, like
I see her every time I go to a movie. Dude, and I'm just like, hey,
she's fucking on my movie screen, right?
Every time, so, yeah.
It's wild to like think about stuff like that, like because maybe like I was introduced to a lot of these people from the Schmodown.
Right.
And they were absolutely doing stuff before it, all of that. But I, as a fan, was introduced to them from this specific content. And it's wild that, like, I feel like this content is, like, such a niche part of the internet.
Yeah.
And to be able to recognize someone from that part of the internet and like grow from it. Like I truly believe that like I came to Dropout from Schmodown. You know what I mean?
Vertical from it, right? Yeah.
So
no, I think like my big takeaway from Schmodown as a whole. I mean, obviously the classic, it's the friends we made along the way. But it's not even just the crew, it's not even just the homies and family. Like it was whenever I know like my standout moment for like this year, which was like thankful for Schmodown, when we were in Portland and Zipper had recently moved up to Portland. So like of course I hit Zipper up and I'm like, brother, what are you doing? And then we go out to dinner and like Hannah got to meet him and we were all sitting there cutting up and it was just this lovely time being able to catch up. And of course with like Zipper of all people too, is just like the most wholesome, like loving like person. I just remember thinking like, yeah, dude, this is like so sick. And also such a bizarre thing that how we got here is a series of random Schmodown things and me being like, Zipper's the fucking GOAT. Put some respect on that name. Like,
but he was. Let's not lie about that. He was.
Yeah. Mark Hewitt came to my work a couple times. I helped him find a missing can of film.
That's super cool.
Hewitt is
also like even our friends that we made that like Alan, like thinking about Alan specifically, like I've seen Alan on like stuff on social media. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was that cool. I knew he was cool. You know what I mean? So it's just like random stuff like that. Like Jeff Alterman is also someone who I'm like, oh man, he's super cool. So it's like stuff like that.
Jeff Snyder's like always and he was then too, but like even now he's like still breaking movie news stuff, and I'm just like, you guys don't know, but he's
Jeff Snyder.
He's an honorary Asian, and like nobody knows. So.
That's so funny.
I keep wanting to add him on follow and then just say like honorary Asian every time I see a post from him.
Yeah.
Like, and then would it be too much to link the AAA video with it every time that?
I think we can pull it off. I think we can do that. Let's look at it.
I think he would know. I think he would be like, oh yeah, I remember that.
No, I think he. I agree with that.
I ran into this guy that podcasted about the Schmodown at the movies like 20 times, says William Harold. Get out.
What?
No way.
That's crazy. I don't believe that.
Like 20 times? Who in Arizona?
I think it has. I think it has been 20 times.
I believe that by now.
You're talking about Nat. Nat a couple of times. You get it. Yeah. That's so wild.
Twice in the movie theaters there.
This is gonna be a weird story, I guess, but like I had looked on the Schmodown fan, like the Facebook page and stuff like that, and I was trying to find people, and I found like 2 people that were from my city that were following the Schmodown page. So I added them on Facebook because that was really when we were like doing the podcast at the time. So I was like, I'm gonna social media the shit out of this, right? So I added them on Facebook and they were both dudes, whatever, it doesn't matter. But like one of them like kept like messaging me in a weird way and I was like, sorry. So
I probably could have seen that one coming, Danie. I won't lie to you.
Honestly, I get it.
How do you find the people that are in your members near you?
Yep. I think there was another search. I think I searched Texas. I honestly can't remember. This was a long time ago.
So
honestly, I think I'm good on Schmodown Tucson friends. Like I think I'm set.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've got plenty. So I'm looking through this.
I think we've met all of the friends that we need from the community.
Right.
Yeah.
So this guy who like lives in the area. I'm like just creeping through his pictures now because he has it public. He's a mutual friend of a friend of mine whose birthday it is today. So I do think that's like a little funny. But no, I remember thinking the same thing happened when I was at a friend's house one time and he was just like, oh yeah, I forget what happened. Like he was like, so what do you do? And I was like, I podcast a whole lot. And he's like, about what? And I was like, oh, there's this thing called Schmodown. He's like, oh no, I know where Schmodown is. And I was like, also, and you don't know who I am, which for the record, I wasn't like, we'd won an award by then. So I'm like, if you're paying attention to Schmodown, you're paying attention to Facebook, there's no way you don't at least by passing see like us not shutting the fuck up about it. Right?
Is that weird? That's how I felt too.
Right.
Genuinely how I felt.
Yeah. And I'm like, it's not that I'm famous. I'm just super loud, even online. So there's no way you couldn't have not seen me passing through on that. Like,
that's how I felt.
Yeah.
I'm just very active and vocal about things.
Yeah.
How have you not seen me?
How many? Can you think back on how many posts that we didn't comment on whenever it was like in its heyday? Like, I was role playing every single post that went in there. We made Dan Merle so mad. Like,
We made him so mad. I think he's still
You
mad to this day. That's
genuinely-
crazy.
we didn't even get invited to his wedding. Can you believe that, Danny? I would have brought such a nice gift. Brandy! Hey, friends.
Congratulations, Brandy, Justin. Congrats.
Yeah,
Congrats.
congrats. We saw that, by the way. Speaking of weddings that me and Nat didn't get invited to, no shade. It's whatever. Okay, I'm kidding. It wasn't close at all. It was only about like a 6-hour drive for me, so I couldn't.
No.
I couldn't have.
No, it's all.
Couldn't have
That's all.
made it.
Half a drive in Texas. That's one city in Texas.
I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't have even driven from one city to another in Texas with that. So. Well, no, San Antonio to what's
Corpus
the one?
is 2 hours.
Yeah,
2
I was about
hours
to say
from
San
where I
Antonio
am
and
to
Corpus
San
would have probably
Antonio.
got there.
That's not too bad.
Yeah. Alan Smithy
San
says
Antonio sucks.
Merle rarely gets pissed. Congrats.
No,
That has not been our experience.
Listen, they actually made him mad.
Yeah.
No.
Not fake
Us.
mad, not Facebook mad, not we'll forget about it. How many years later, Danny? Like,
Dude, the chat was wild. He genuinely made them mad. We thought we were done.
I have heard from Jake as early as still this year that he still remembers it. But
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Like, he blankets it to C2A. I don't know if he could tell you Dylan and that specifically. I actually think he might. So
that was the thing for a while, was
Yeah.
that we didn't believe that he would be able to tell any of us apart.
No.
Not just the two of y'all, but the whole
It was just
group.
blanket anger against C2A.
Exactly, 100%, just over the podcast, and we got that.
Yeah.
We accepted it.
Well, you had
but-
to. We had to keep making content. If we've
But
learned anything in
that
6 to
what
7
Dylan is
years,
saying
you
right
guys could
now-
not stop us if you wanted to. We kept doing it. So
Yeah, it's not like we would have stopped.
No,
There's
who would?
so much love and appreciation to Dan. 100%.
We
You
love
guys
Dan. He
just-
doesn't feel the same way about
we
us.
genuinely really enjoy Dan. He's a very nice guy.
You guys just really kind of fucked up just a little bit, huh?
Listen, you know what? I'm gonna double down. I think Dan's the one that's fucked up. He shouldn't have ever lost, and we wouldn't have had to cover his shit. He lost one time, and we pointed out, and he got mad that we did it. So
None of us said anything like that.
and for whatever reason, and we kept saying, I would look at Nat and I would say, listen, Jake. And then Nat would say, listen, Paul. And I don't know why he can't remember mine and Nat's name every time we meet him, though. No, there's definitely a vibe. I remember thinking like the last time there was a Schmodown event that we were all at,
No.
that he how many moons ago that has been now, that he distinctly, I don't think he could name us off the cuff, but he did in fact remember it was me and Nat. Like, because I got the impression that I was like, he's still hot.
Because I remember you're like, hey, let's go say hi to Dan. What's the worst that could happen? And I was like,
Yeah.
that's not a good idea, Dylan.
It was not. He was so. You could tell that he was not in the mood for our nonsense.
People in the chat are saying bring Dan on No Chill. That he would never agree to that. There's
Dan,
no way.
I would love to. I would genuinely love to reach out right now and say, Dan Merle, what do we have to do to get you on No Chill?
No, don't do it.
Oh.
Let's bring Rachel Cushing on too and talk about polls.
Okay, who handles it worse? who handles it worse, Rachel or Dan? Chat. I'm not gonna say anything. I want to know what you guys think.
Let's put a poll up.
Put a poll.
I'm
You want to put a
upset
poll
that
on
I'm
Twitter?
here for this. I come back one time,
Yeah.
and you want to do this?
Yeah.
Listen, Danny, we gave you your astrology section, all right? We're talking about No Chill right now.
Right. We're talking about No Chill. And here's the thing, Danny. Here's the problem. You're a muse. You just inspire us to make new important content relative to Schmodown again. So
Sorry.
it's your gift and it's your curse.
I'm
Smithy says,
so
if you want me to
sorry.
tweet at Dan, I'll do it. Yeah, please do.
No.
Smithy, tweet at C2A at
No.
Dan Merle. When are we gonna get Dan on No Chill? Please do.
No.
Don't tag me in that specifically. It's better
Do
than
not tag me in that.
Oh, tag Jake and Paul.
Tag Jake.
Tag Jake, tag Paul. Let's make him visible.
No.
The thing is, we could probably, because of how here's the sadly the funniest part to me about it. Because of how Dan took that AAA episode, he has such a good personality to really get a reaction out of him on No Chill. I feel like all of the small stuff will land, and because there's that like building implosion underneath.
Imagine an exploding Dan Merle.
I don't need to. I've seen him type it out. The biggest comment he has ever posted on I have fact checked this. I have in fact checked this for our egos alone. The biggest comment he has ever posted to the Schmodown group was the comment that he left about me and Nat in reaction to our AAA live episode.
Golly.
That may be a top 3 thing that we've accomplished while being in Schmodown.
Yeah, it's just 2 awards and that.
The 2 awards and Dan Merle.
Pissing off Dan Merle.
Listen, you get to beat the best, to be the best, you gotta beat the best. So we proved we were the best, and then we beat the best one time. So
man, were we really the villains?
For one season, yeah, that was our main bread and butter. Do you remember? Me and
Dylan tried. We tried our best.
Okay, no. Okay, Dylan. Okay, for Dylan to say that specifically, Nat, you get to be in this conversation. So for Dylan to say we're the villains for one season, genuinely, the entire podcast started on the grounds of being villains. But I don't think we were that when you came around. Dylan,
no,
right, Nat?
No,
you're right.
Weren't we like kind of teetering off of that? Because
we cooled off a little bit.
It was the first season that we started, when we very first started, because we were an Action Army specific podcast. What it was, like, we were definitely like going off of that for a little bit, just kind of talking shit. But even when we did start in the first season, like, we weren't really being super spiteful.
No,
right?
we're definitely not.
No.
Spiteful would not be the word I used for it. I would say that leaning into the heel was still very much the vibe by the time I was rolling into the podcast.
Okay, I believe that.
We were a little spicy. Like, we had a little kick to us.
We were
weren't,
spicy.
burning your tongue off.
Yeah. Now, I'll concede that my actions I'm not going to even say exclusively, because I've dragged Nat into every one of my actions for the most part for the entirety of this. I would say so much of our actions has definitely revolved around the idea of tiptoeing the line of saying the quiet part that people aren't saying out loud, right?
Okay.
Like,
yeah,
I would say, and we would use stats to cover it up with AAA, and then we would actively use comedy to parody it and cover it up, which was No Chill.
No Chill.
We've always been the ones who have said, like, what are the things that, like, what are the shitty things that people are saying that are clearly false? And what are the things that are objectively a little true, but we don't want to say out loud because the community would take us for it?
Right. And that was almost also the objective with Chill, was to have like a behind the kayfabe vibe towards it. Like, it wasn't, Chill was not supposed to have any kayfabe at all.
No,
it was supposed to be like one-on-one. We're going to ask you real questions. We're going to deep dive. Like, the whole concept of Chill kind of came from like my love of Hot Ones, and the whole like interview concept of Hot Ones. That was kind of where like Chill came from. So it was absolutely supposed to be like a no kayfabe sort of thing. So I agree. Like coming into like that season of C2A was kind of leaning into, but also posturing away enough to where we wanted the audience to understand that, like, we're digging a little deeper than just normal stuff.
Hot Ones episode of No Chill with actual wings.
Wish we would have done that.
I would have killed to. I would crush it.
Wish we would have done that. Do you remember when we?
Yeah. So, Danie, real quick.
Hi.
When is the next C2A Expo?
Oh, great question. Great question.
When is it? Because you're in charge of where it's going to be. It can't be Texas though.
I think we already decided it's Germany.
So
Oh my
God,
God,
Germany.
Shut up about
we're going
that.
to Germany.
No, we have to see Jervy.
We're going to hit Estonia, then we're going to Germany.
We're going to hit Estonia along the way. We absolutely.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Like, we got to get Jervy in here somehow.
Well, I think we just tell
Jarvie
we're in
can just meet us in Germany.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I mean. He'll find a way.
Hold on. How far is Estonia to Germany?
BRB.
Because my American brain has no idea.
Estonia, it's about like San Antonio to Corpus Christi.
It's only about an hour and a half flight, so it can't be that far.
That's pretty close.
It's probably like a 6-hour drive, or in Europe, about 4 countries. It is a Texas drive. You're right.
Oh, okay. So it's about 19 hours to drive.
What?
From Estonia to Germany.
I guess it depends on where in Estonia. Estonia to Germany, 19 hours. At that point he has to fly. I think we have to.
You know what?
I think we'd have to fly just to Estonia.
Berlin to Tallinn.
Let's go see Jervy.
What's in Estonia? I don't know anything in Estonia other than Jarvie.
So the capitals of both countries are like 18 hours apart.
Wow. Okay. All right, Europe. I see you. And Scandinavia's. So that's the where. I guess we're going to Germany / Estonia.
We're going to. I'm telling you, it's happening.
I do not believe you.
I caught the bug. I can't wait to get back to Europe.
So, Danie, you may have missed out on this, but Jake called Nat at some point, like months ago now. And
back on the phone.
Yeah. And just
Nat, I don't think I have your phone number.
Jake is the only one who has my number now.
Does he? I knew it. No. Do I have your phone number, Nat?
Do I have Nat's phone number?
I think I have your number, but you don't have mine.
I think I have your phone number.
I don't even have Nat's phone number.
you definitely don't, Dylan. Because we just messaged her through Facebook.
That's true.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever think that it'd be super weird that if all of a sudden, like, if like Facebook randomly just hardcore deleted and like all the messengers went and we had no way to reach one another, like, because we just straight up don't have the telephone numbers?
No, we could. No, I have some numbers. We also have each other on Twitter.
Okay, let's say all social media. Any social media that's connecting us, right? Like,
well, now I can just reach out to Jake, and Jake has everyone's number.
Jake has all of our numbers. Jake has every single one of our numbers.
Jake also has all of our addresses too.
He does have my address.
Yeah, all of ours.
Jake probably has a couple of our bank account numbers.
He doesn't have yours?
No.
Oh, he has mine.
Oh, he might.
No. Yeah, I think he definitely does, because that's whenever he was setting up the call to action account that I'm sure he would have had you guys as some like secondary proprietaries.
He might.
Yeah. I know he has Paul's.
That's true.
But Paul also has everybody's. He's just quiet about it.
Yeah. But Paul also got that from hacking into all of our accounts.
Yes.
We've already had this conversation. Fun fact for everyone who's watching this live, Paul is a hacker. He can get into your accounts. He probably already has access to your accounts. When we talk about blame PLD, this is what we mean. We mean that he has hacked into our accounts and that he has access to all of our bank accounts, and he has been holding us hostage. I'm so sorry that I have to say this live on camera for the first time in years.
I don't know how he figured out that my password was just call to action 123. Like,
it was call to action poop.
Yeah.
C2A poop.
Yeah.
And that was it.
That would be a great one.
Mine's Taylor Swift 123.
Yeah, that's Nat's. Right.
Wow, it couldn't even be Taylor Swift 89. Fucking embarrassing, Nat. That one sets itself up.
You got
this is how you know that they're both not Swifties. It should be 87. The only reason why Dylan is saying 89 is because he understands football. But
do I?
He's a big football fan.
Dylan just got it all wrong. Why would it be 89, Dylan? Wait,
Did you get there? Did you get there, Swifty?
Yeah, I'm the one who's wrong.
Oh, hold on. Let me place this right. Okay, so I got both of you. I I 2-for-2 the Swifties into group.
I hate it.
Come on.
I got it wrong. I'm sorry.
I want to clip that. I want to clip that. I want to post it to the closest.
Clip that in the
I come
clip
back
she's-
for
her
the
saying
first
Texas sucks.
time.
It always turns into a no-chill episode by the time it's said and done with. Oh my god. Taylor is a big Batman fan. I don't believe you. Oh yeah, 89 Batman. I got you. See,
Taylor
Also,
with the things you have to
okay,
think
if you
about.
want to connect Batman to Taylor, also Taylor Swift, Taylor Lautner, Robert Pattinson, Batman, Taylor Swift, Batman.
There you go.
Boom.
6 degrees
You're
Taylor Swift.
welcome.
I can't deal with the Swiftie universe. It's running too deep. Okay, so here, really quick, we're gonna talk about movies for a second, Danie. I know you don't like movies that much, but here,
Okay.
can you entertain us?
Sure.
Okay, so on a scale of so hot to ice cold, what is your eagerness level to watch the Marvels?
Mid. Not because of anything else, like mostly just because I feel like it's a little bit of Marvel fatigue. I want to go because I genuinely I know how many people are going to be actively against it, so I do feel like it is. I know, all right. I don't think it's a shitty thing to say. I think anyone who agrees with me understands, but I feel like I should go and support this movie because I know how many people are going to actively shit on this movie just because.
Mhm.
Just because. But I understand the concept of what Marvel is trying to do. Okay, mid on that. I don't know because I haven't kept up with it because I do have a lot of Marvel fatigue right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know what Marvel's plans are. I haven't tried to keep up with any of the news about what Marvel's future is going into, but I do know that they are phasing. It's phasing right now. Whatever it is, there's a transition and all of that stuff. So I don't know what part of the transition it's in. I don't know what they're going to decide for the future, but I also know that as a cinema fan, as someone who just genuinely loves movies, we have to understand that trends come and go, and maybe comic book movies in a whole as a genre could be kind of I think a lot of people are experiencing comic book fatigue at this moment.
Genre,
but that doesn't
right?
Yeah, for the genre, but that doesn't mean that the genre has to go away or that the MCU has to stop. I don't believe that either. I just believe that we have to understand as consumers that we have to adapt to changes, and we're just not there anymore. And that's fine.
Alan
No,
says, Danie,
no, I don't hate. No, I don't hate
why
any.
the hate? Jeremy says Danie hates Brie Larson. Also, Danie, I don't know if you can tell, but we also have a running ticker that says Danie hates Brie Larson going under the video.
I didn't read it.
I didn't even see that.
Thank you. This is gonna get clipped. It's gonna get completely out of context. It's totally fine.
That's what we do
not
best.
loop me in
Yeah.
with all of these terrible people who are just trying to dog on what the MCU is doing right now. And I think the MCU just has to find its footing. I don't think that it should stop. I think that there are plenty of stories for it to tell from now on, especially now that we got the Blade's gonna be rated R. Tight.
Yeah.
Tight.
We're gonna get 19 inches of Blade now. That's what's
19
about to happen.
inches.
19 inches. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. And I think that's important for us as anyone who has been an MCU fan. I'm sorry I'm going on a tangent right now. But for any of us as an MCU fan, I think that's important for us to note because that shows the shift that it's going to. When was the last time we got a rated R MCU film?
There hasn't
Right?
been one.
There has-
Exactly. So I think that's the point that I hope that the MCU can find its shift in its way because it has to grow with the audience. Whenever we think about Disney and just in general, and how it's grown and different things that you have to grow with your audience and like where it's going. And a lot of people that started like the MCU has been going fucking around for 21 years at this point.
Yeah.
So, right? Am I wrong?
Well,
21 movies, 13 years. Am I wrong?
2008, so we're a little under. We're probably closer to 15, but
somewhere around that. Okay, thank you.
We'll give it to
so
you.
I knew so like the genre has to grow with the audience that it came up with, but it also has to allow room for other people to bring it in. And I think allowing rated R MCU movies is the way to go. That's it. I'm sorry.
I agree. I think my favorite part of Rapunzel 2 is whenever she did the full frontal scene, and I thought it was
incredible. When she chopped off her mom's head with the frying pan.
Yeah.
We needed to see that.
Gas.
Yeah.
Gas.
Yeah. Well, can you imagine if they just added blood splatter to that scene? Like,
it's
so this actually like
I mean.
It's a good thing that you brought this up because this is what the topic I was going to bring up. If Danie wasn't here.
Yeah,
so
if Danie wasn't here, it was just going to be us talking about the Marvels and what's our vibe.
Yeah.
Sorry, thank you.
So there's been a week show on Disney Plus that everyone's raving about, and I'm caught up, and it's like I have a lot of thoughts on it. So the show I'm talking about.
Oh shit!
Invasion, baby.
Yikes! We pretended that show didn't happen.
I finally caught up with Secret Invasion in time for their Marvels, and I have not started Loki at all. So I'll probably have to do that at some point. But, yeah, no, I had a lot to catch up on. This superhero fatigue is pretty real. So I don't think it was that bad. Because I think it has to be with a lot of negative reviews I saw. Like I was expecting it to be just total shit. Yeah, it was whatever.
It wasn't total shit. But it ends totally shitty.
Yeah, they kind of did.
How so?
The last episode has a gross, dumb fight between Daenerys and the really charming guy who'd been doing a great job so far of acting as
Daenerys and a Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ken, that's right. He is one of the Kens.
Yeah.
So they have that fight, which is like pretty bad, not even just as like a narrative standpoint, just from an action standpoint. It looks bad. The choreography's shitty. And I'm like,
I mean, it's a Disney Plus show, you're gonna have.
But that's not an excuse, I don't think.
They can't pitch Disney Plus shows and then cut on the one maybe real action scene they have.
Bro, Willow was so good. Fuck y'all. Willow was good.
So, none of y'all supported Willow, and it died for your guys' sin.
Willow was good, and the action scenes in Willow were good, and I'm like, they were better than the Secret Invasion action sequence. From that, what they're talking. Okay,
yeah,
I didn't think it was great, but I feel like I'm a lot more forgiving of that kind of stuff. I wasn't like entertained or anything, but I thought it wasn't like downright awful. Like people were saying.
But Nat, all right, so. Here's the comparison, right?
Yeah, please.
So Secret Invasion's probably best comparison in MCU is Winter Soldier. Is that that's fair?
In terms of like tone and everything, yeah.
Tone, political thriller kind of style thing, right? You saw what Winter Soldier did. Start to finish, we had a good like narrative with like political payoff and it being like all this implication about S.H.I.E.L.D. By the end of Secret Invasion, from start to finish, can you tell me what we get for that? What's the payoff?
That's a good point. There isn't really a payoff. Like, if this show didn't happen, I don't think anything would change. That's fair.
Yeah.
I feel like the payoff, if there was anything to it, was for us to have like in the back of our mindset, anyone can be a Skrull.
Yeah. Oh, can we talk about that? The main focal point of the show is this, like, who are they, aren't they? Like a Skrull, right? How often does that effectively get used in this show? We get maybe one, and they tell us around episode 3 or 4 that it's Rhodey.
Yeah.
And then they just kill the Skrull by the time it's all said and done. And then the president's super racist. Technically speciesist, but...
Yeah.
And I didn't need that kind of reality back in my timeline for the MCU either. You know what I mean? Like, and then Sam Jackson, his response to all of it, I'm gonna go fuck off and hang out with the aliens now.
So I do think it's interesting that he's so against these aliens, but like we got Asgardian in Norway, and are you just declaring war on Norway right now?
Right.
Like
He said all aliens. Like, you really trying to try Tessa Thompson out there in Scandinavia for the record? Like,
yeah.
No, it was like
So no, that's a good point. Like it's not a very good show, but my point is, I just don't think it's like.
So everybody said it was here because the internet is at times, I would say, a little exaggerative, a little hyperbolic, if you will, if we're going to use the big words. So the internet would say it's here, and then here's like mid. I'm still like, it's like here, which is still pretty damn bad.
I feel like we agree there, so we're on the same page.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Now you're saying that the follow-up movie that we have is the wildly different every trailer, The Marvels. Yikes.
Didn't we get the last trailer yesterday?
Uh-huh.
Did y'all watch it?
Yeah.
I have not.
I've seen it.
I purposely did not watch because of the negative reviews.
No. I insist that we watch it. In fact, I talk about a true call to action moment here. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to pull it up. And we're going to watch this trailer. I want to see what you guys think. So for the record, have you seen any of the previous trailers?
I've seen both.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know you have had to because that comes on in front of other movies and you've been to the movies. So
I wish I could make this bigger.
So
Taylor's been there too.
I can't even scroll. Like I can't even scroll on this whole.
I sure hate that we're going to lose this video to it being flagged because we showed a Marvel's trailer. Oh, well. Hate that for us.
Bye,
it'll be banned in Japan, so make sure to be here for this moment. Mm-hmm. But
Rose, it's an old-fashioned notion, but the world can still use them.
Ready.
Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
We destroyed Thanos, but it's not over.
My work is inevitable. There will always be more to finish it.
This is just the beginning. She tore a hole in space. There's a different reality leading into ours.
What are you prepared to do?
I'm invincible. Your powers only make me stronger.
So you can't be matched. Can't be controlled. I'm asking for one last fight.
You cannot protect your people.
You can stand tall without standing alone.
They're here.
The Marvels, rated PG-13.
Uh-oh.
Monica, you gotta fly.
No.
Black girl magic.
In theaters Friday.
Okay.
So that wasn't great.
Yeah.
Also, tonally, how wildly different is that trailer from the other trailers?
It's so different. It's like a completely different movie.
Is that not always a gigantic red flag when you see a trailer be like, all right, kind of playful, kind of like this seems like it's going to be like a space adventure. And then we got what looks like Thor the Dark World via Marvels.
We're going to fucking end it.
Yeah.
That's the vibe that I got.
This is the end of this phase universe movie. Like they're like the way that trailer pitches is like literally like whoever this character is, who we didn't even know was the antagonist until just now, is going to be like the new universe ending person. And like, holy shit, we're about to go into phase 5 or phase 6 now with it. Yeah, it's surprising that this movie is tracking more than Black Adam and the Flash.
I hate to use this word, but like it feels like pandering. Because like it's like here's some end game stuff. Here's this thing from this movie you love. It's like that. It's just, it feels kind of cheap to me.
Yeah, the trailer opens with Not even any of the main characters. Robert Downey Jr. and
Dead.
and Cap himself,
Old.
also old, I presume not dead at this point. And the quotes from Sam Jackson I was reading in the comments were ones taken from Infinity War and Endgame. Like, none of the quotes that are used by Sam in this one, other than like the end of the trailer, is actually from this movie. It's from older movies.
That's wild. That's wild.
I am not looking forward to spending money on this movie, but I'll still watch it because I'm a shill and I need to have an opinion about it. So
yeah, again, like it just feels like something that I have to.
It feels more like homework rather than enthusiasm, right? Like
yeah. That sucks, man.
I really want this movie to be good, and so I'm gonna see it. I'll probably see William Harold there. But I don't think this movie will be good.
Alan says, "Can we spoil the surprise cameo at the end?" Low key, I'm not even bothered by spoilers.
Honestly,
I know they're out there.
I don't know if I am either. I'm kind of okay with it.
Alan, if you know the spoiler, let us know, because I feel like I actually saw somebody spoil like the end of this like months ago, and I've forgotten what it is. So I think it would just be a reminder.
The big cameo
for me, because I want to be excited. Like,
okay.
I'm gonna win this is fine.
Send it to Dylan. Send it to Dylan in chat. Dylan will tell me.
Send it to me. You know how to reach me.
Yeah.
On Twitter. Also, did you reach out to Dan Merle, Smithy? I need to know. That's the other.
No, he said he was too scared.
Don't do it. He's celebrating right now, y'all. Come on.
Oh shoot! Yeah, it is really recent.
Yeah, don't bother him right now.
Yeah, don't bother. No. Not right now. Don't worry, Danny. I won't do it. Dan scares me.
Thank you.
Well, he only scares one of us on this channel. That's for sure.
Dan scares me too, honestly. So.
No. I heard Fraser show.
Honestly, wow.
That's so good.
Oh, speaking of Frasier with the blue hair, did anyone watch Renfield? I just recently watched it.
Oh yeah, I don't think I feel like it could have been a lot better. If I'm being honest.
Me too. Yeah, I agree 100%.
That's been the consensus I've heard. I didn't watch Renfield. I did end up watching a friend of mine playing a community theater of Joker's Dracula, and Renfield is a character in that.
Oh, well, yeah.
So like the same thing, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean Renfield is a big part of Dracula's life, so
okay,
or like lore, I guess.
Right. So Danny, you want to see the hottest take and the most controversial thing that's going to happen this episode?
Okay.
So Nat, I finally got around to watching Past Lives.
No. I haven't watched it.
Oh no. I know what's coming. No.
No spoilers.
I haven't watched it.
No spoilers.
I really want to.
No spoilers.
Okay.
You say you hated it. I swear to God, don't.
I think it was kind of boring.
You're out of your mind. I can't believe you.
Okay, hear me out. Here's my take on it. Here is my true and honest take on it. With no spoilers, Danny, you can hang out. No worries.
Okay. Where can I watch it first?
Where did you watch it?
I probably downloaded it illegally. You can't make me admit that online, though.
No, I won't do that.
I won't
do that. It's fine.
But I'm sure I know you can rent it online. Like you can rent it like several different places. So
it's playing at your local theater. Totally get it.
100%. So I checked it out at my theater. Support your local theater. So, anyways, I watched it. Front row seat. And here's what I'll say on the pros. Right. The pros are, I think that the performances are. No, I can't give it the performances. I think that the story and the message and the narrative of like what it's saying is incredibly unique and very powerful. Right? So I definitely was vibing with the idea of like the story that they were talking about. I like the unorthodox aspect of it. You know what I mean? Like sure. You're expecting to get a little bit of a cliche rom-com to a degree with it, and you don't. So, oh no, I don't. Yeah.
So
okay.
You can rent it on Apple.
Yeah, that's Apple or FlixFling. FlixFling sounds like a dating app, for the record.
I can watch it on Apple.
Yeah,
Apple,
you can also
you can rent it for cheaper on Amazon.
Yeah, you can rent it on Amazon and stuff too. So, I thought that the emotional aspect behind it was super, super strong. I appreciate that they don't villainize the husband. Although he does kind of get cucked a little bit, like, and it's pretty awkward on the
That
tail.
I will say, like, as someone who's only seen little snips from the trailer, that feels like that's to be expected.
Right. I will say that they handled it very, very, like, they handled the content very respectfully.
Yeah.
As a movie, I found myself checking out a whole lot, though.
That hurts me to my soul, though.
In a way, I did not enjoy. Like,
Nat,
yeah.
did you cry?
Oh, did I cry? So,
Yeah.
oh man, yeah.
Legitimately, I was holding back tears in the theater, but once I got to my car, I just sat in the parking lot and just like bawled my eyes out.
I cannot wait to watch this movie. I've been dying to watch this movie because I know that, like, look, y'all know I love to fucking cry.
No, we know.
You're gonna cry this movie.
You're gonna cry.
Oh.
You're gonna cry.
Do
you want to call us to cry? Because I did get pretty emotional about it. Like, despite, and I would say that's a huge strength to it, right? Despite, like, it, for me, not really feeling like super engaging, the moments that, like, it puts the emotional pedal on, I think especially on the tail end, like, it hits. Like, it sticks the landing in those places. It just, for whatever reason, just did, like, it dragged its foot. And definitely the middle part, I really could have felt like, so it's in 2 different time jumps, right? We've got like a 12-year gap and a 12-year gap. And then
not a time jump.
I know. It's always about the time jumps, right? So
I
they're
just
like,
thought it was like maybe memories.
no, it's like, you know, we got like 10, we've got like 22, we've got 34 or something like
Not
that,
a
right?
time jump.
Right. I really could have dealt with something going on between your 20s and the 30s a little bit more. I actually wanted more from this movie. I wanted more of this little buffer time because I felt like by the time we got the second jump to the third jump, it was a little jarring with what was like how they leaped into the relationships again.
What life was?
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay. That's
Dylan,
tight.
You've had a lot of opinion on movies that have disappointed me.
Yes.
But I've never felt disappointment like this. I'm just like crushed that you didn't love this movie as much as I did.
Listen, I wanted to love it. I picked it on the
Yeah.
wheel for the FN podcast. I was like, blind pick. I'm like, my buddy who I almost always vibe on movies, on shows not so much, but on movies I'm like, we're almost always on the same page with this, and it's Asian related, and I think that the story there is very beautiful. I just don't think that the movie that they put in front of me for the most part wasn't for me. I was explaining it to Hannah, and like as I was explaining it, like it made me really appreciate the value of what they're telling, but overall I think just the execution left me wanting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like that.
See, and that's because we've been also movie critics in disguise for like the past 7+ years now as podcasters. So I know how to articulate this. It jumps from 4 to 8 to 15, then continues 16, and then jumps to 23 and ends at 42. Thank you, Harold. I couldn't remember exactly how that went. That's exactly how it went. Thank you. Now,
so for those who don't know, Past Lives is my movie of the year, and
Yes.
it's also my movie of the decade. Like,
yeah,
it's my favorite movie of the 2020.
this is
I can't
that
wait to watch it. I'm dying to
people's
watch
peak
it.
of movies, right?
Yeah, it shook me to my like emotional core to the point where I was like still like hurting like weeks after I saw the movie. To me, it's hard to. Well, it's easy not to spoil the movie because there's like really not much you can spoil.
Yeah,
it's
you
more
can
about
only really kind of spoil like loosely the end, right?
Yeah. That's what
it's
I
really
figured
more
about
about the journey, and it for me it just like felt so real because it's like a universal thing where everyone can relate to, like just having that one person that if things were differently, if you had the timing right, then it who knows what it could have been. And that just like really got to me personally because I had that. And I just thought the way they executed it, the way they told the story was just so soft and tender and real because like it's like real life. There's like
it was good at that. It was very good at that.
There wasn't an antagonist in the movie. There wasn't a bad guy. These are just people living their lives.
Yeah. Because sometimes there's not. Ugh, I'm gonna cry.
Exactly.
Danny's crying at the idea of this movie.
and there's a line of movie. I forgot what it was, but the main guy he says that I was really hoping that I'd hate him, but I don't.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I hate
it just
that
got because that's real life. And
the tail end of that dialogue, like, so speaking to the strengths, I think you're dead on. I think like the genuine nature of this movie and not villainizing any of its characters is massively strong. Like that's probably my biggest, like, it could have went left and been really cliche, but it chose to take the high route or high road in that way. I hate that I don't like it more. I really do. I love it on a conceptual level. Like I really do. I like this. I love the story that's telling, and I like that. I can appreciate it that much. I just wanted more from it. I kind of hate that it's like that, but that's just the nature of it.
And that's fine. That's why we love movies. Like everyone's gonna have
Right.
a different opinion. You're totally validating your opinion. It just wasn't for you, and I understand that.
Yeah,
But
sometimes
for
it's
me,
not
it
for
just
me.
like hits so hard.
I pitched it to Hannah, and Hannah, I think she'd be bawling at it. I think she'd be like super into it because like she was like tearing up me describing it to her, and I'm like, yeah, this is definitely a movie that probably would resonate more, like with you on the human element story with it, but like with the racial element story to it. I mean, of course, me and Nat always are having our fingers on the pulse on any like Asian media that crosses the like victory point on that one. Speaking of something that's still falling through the cracks, but I finally put on the wheel as well, is Minari. I haven't got around. I didn't.
Oh,
I
I
still
love
haven't watched
Minari.
that either.
Yeah,
That was my favorite movie of the year it came out.
I remember that was your favorite movie of the year. How closely does it compare to Past Lives for you though? Just in personal preference. Just in personal preference.
I think for me, they're close on my rankings, but like if I actually think about it, I prefer Past Lives vastly more, like way more.
Okay.
And that's just, I'm not saying like one's a better movie than the other, but
Sure.
personally, it hit me more because I could relate it to Past Lives more than I did Minari.
I still think in Asian media that's low key taking over the world. I'm hard pressed to find something take out everything everywhere all at once for me.
So how does Parasite compare?
Parasite's okay. This is probably a very similar vibe. I think Parasite is an insanely fantastic movie that's super, super good. But I have to like quantify it in scores, right? Where like if Everything Everywhere is like a perfect 10 for like the emotional notes, for the rewatchability, for like the zany wackiness of it, Parasite is one that like I wanted to watch right away just because I wanted to kind of be back in it again. But it's not a movie that I would find myself rewatching once every couple of years, right? Maybe for the first couple of years, but like afterwards, I don't see it being right around November, I'm gonna watch Parasite again. You know, like it's one of those ones that I could probably go another 5, 6, 7 years from watching again, and that's not taking away from it. It just means that like for my personal value of it, it's a movie that I got a lot of out of the first couple watches, but I think I'm like there. I think I got a lot of it, and if it came on again, I'd still enjoy it. I still think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But Everything Everywhere has a very emotional tone and connection to me. That when we're talking about a story about family and we're talking about a story about like generational trauma and the way that it does, oh man, like that's one I want to go park my feelings in, you know? Like this is I imagine the same way of Past Lives with you and like 500 Days of Summer for you, right? Kind of lands in that like it's not even so much that I love that movie. I love hate the feeling that I experience while watching that movie. It gives me a medium for that. Yeah, no, I know it's up there for you, boo boo, but it's it's my movie excuse to say I really want to have a cry about some family feelings, you know?
Right.
And I think that it just does that the best, like right now, out of like movies in my like mental catalog there.
I just think we're like really blessed to have this like age of like really good movies.
No,
from Asia.
The Asian Renaissance is hot right now. Like the Marvel fatigue all night long, but we've got the Asian Renaissance that's been sneaking into the genres for a while now.
Yeah,
I love it. So this is going to be a hot take. People are not going to agree with me. They're all 5 out of 5 for me, these 4 movies. But for me, I would go Past Lives, Minari,
Parasite.
I would go Parasite, and then Everything Everywhere all at once.
See, and this is where our personal preference spectrum is, right? Like Past Lives is on the bottom already. I don't know where Minari lands just yet. Stay tuned. Everything Everywhere, Parasite, Minari, and Parasite are going to be fighting for second for the moment. And then Past Lives, I'm just very sure is going to be like the bottom of my 4.
So we're like just the inverse of each other when it comes to this.
I'm literally the yin to your yang on this.
I feel like that's always been the vibe, though.
It really is. Like I think that's us at our core. Together we make one whole Asian, so it makes sense that we're the opposite Asian of either. Love it.
I really love the way that you put the idea of Parasite versus Everything Everywhere all at once, because both of those movies are genuinely beautiful, great movies. In my opinion, both 10 out of 10 movies. But the rewatchability on it, I absolutely agree with you on that. There's something wholesome about going back through everything, everywhere, all at once. I think my roommate's coming home right now. She's unlocking the door right now. Sorry. There's something wholesome about everything, everywhere, all at once, and rewatching it again, and like having that familiar vibes and stuff like that. And then with Parasite is such a great movie. It's such a solid movie that like it's so like watching it 2 to 3 times after that, like you can really catch things that you didn't catch before. But after a certain point, you've kind of caught everything that you need to with Parasite. Great acting, fun to watch with people who have never watched it before.
Oh, that's a good movie.
That's where like that rewatch is the best. Like when you watch it with a movie that, hi, hello, welcome home. That's when the movie is really fun to like rewatch. But like Everything Everywhere All at Once is just such a beautiful movie. Just a wonderful, beautiful movie. I love it so much.
Yeah. I still like I'm very, very convinced it's going to be very easily in like not just one of these few movies that I give like a perfect 10, but like genuinely is going to be like one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, because before then it was like Jurassic Park is still my goat on that one, and then like Inception. I just fucking adore that movie. That movie is way better than it gives credit for. But then Everything Everywhere, I feel like is going to be like just creeping its way into number 3 for me, right next to like Jojo Rabbit or something like that. Like both of those are like movies in recent time that I'm like, oh man, those are peak movies for me.
I'm glad you brought up Jojo Rabbit, because like, can we talk about how the internet has turned on Taika Waititi just because he released one bad movie?
He releases one bad Thor movie, and now all of a sudden Taika's trash. He's been trash all along. Trashka. Is what Trashka.
I can't believe that. Like, I think it was like a year ago where we were like, "Oh, Taika might be one of my favorite directors."
Yeah,
and you feel the same. So it's like it's wild how what one movie can do to your reputation.
Yeah. All it takes is one movie not to land, and then that's it. I saw where Schmodown's Star Wars competitor Laura had put out that she had been she finally got around to watching it. She was like, "I don't see whatever all the hate was about." And I'm like, well, we're back to the internet equation again, right? You know, the internet made it sound like it's down here. And I don't think it's as bad as like Secret Invasion, where I put, but like, here's my expectation for the movie and what it could have done. And it's still on the lower side. It's on
Honestly,
the lower
I think
side.
it's still better than a lot of the movies that they're putting out. I like it more than Quantumania. I like it more than the Eternals.
Yeah,
I thought the goats were funny. I don't know.
No, the goats are funny. If you don't find it funny, then you probably haven't liked a Taika movie yet. So.
But also, like, it's about understanding the lore, and I think that that's kind of like the really cool thing that Taika also did with that. The goats specifically are a huge part of like the lore of all of like I can't think of the stupid like where Thor and Odin come from at this moment.
The Asgardian lore stuff, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like that's all comes from like actual lore. So I think that was what was really cool about it. So it's kind of smart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, again, I'm still a huge Taika fan. You can't take that away from me because whatever, Thor Ragnarok is still one of the best in the verse. You take out the MCU stuff, Jojo Rabbit is just frankly one of my favorite movies.
What a great movie.
But we look at Love and Thunder and I'm like, my problem is I'm too big of a geek. I've read the comic and I knew what I wanted out of it and I knew what I didn't get from it, and it's much more reflection of me and my expectations rather than the movie itself. And I'm able to check myself. Yeah.
For sure. Like we talked about how happy we were getting in because we both love the Thor one that Gore was in. So like when it didn't live up to our expectations, that was very, very disappointing. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you just gotta realize you gotta check out the door. But still, I mean, they should have done a better job with Gore. That doesn't make Taika Waititi a bad director all of a sudden.
No. I mean, again, because think about how many decisions in the MCU actually get left up to a director, right? Like, let's start there. Who knows if that was a MCU move or if that was a Taika move? Now, I've always said that I really enjoy Taika, but when it specifically comes to his comedy, I can really be batting 50-50 with him sometimes. Like, sometimes I think he absolutely nails it. Sometimes I feel like he needs to be reined in a little bit. Like, What We Do in the Shadows feels like something I find funny every other time I watch it. but then there are sometimes I feel like it's a little too extra. So this just was like the other time for me in a lot of ways with it. But even then, I wouldn't go as far as to say it's a bad movie. It's just not what I wanted out of it. Taika's the best. MCU led him astray. He needs to go back to New Zealand and hang out with Jermaine. Okay. No, I mean, I still hold to that. I still think Taika is like still very high up there. Like one of my favorite directors and one of my huge up and coming directors. I'm really curious to see how the Fassbender movie comes out to look.
Next Girl Wins.
Yeah.
Jeremy says it was not getting a good review. I haven't seen that.
The soccer movie, right?
Yeah, it's a soccer movie with Fassbender in it.
I really want to see that one. That one looks good.
Yeah. Also, Danie, can you say hi to your roommate for us?
Tina. My podcast friends. Oh, my cat is. Hi. Do you want to say hi to my podcast friends real quick? You don't have to. It's totally fine.
Totally
you can
don't
say hi
have
from
to.
there because I can hear you. Do you want to say hi?
We're just relaying.
You can just scream.
Yeah.
You're on the internet. No. Absolutely not. I'm sorry. No. You can just say hi.
Hi. My favorite part about this was right before the show started, Danie said, "All right, I can't be on for long."
I did.
And here we are, 1 hour 45 minutes in. We usually don't.
We usually end at an hour and a half, so we're going over.
In an hour and a half.
Sorry.
But when we have other people on that just surprise us on being on the show, we can't help but to indulge ourselves in it. So.
And you have not talked about anything that y'all were supposed to talk about except for maybe 2 things.
We didn't have.
I promise you, we had 0 things planned. We never do, Danie. This isn't comedy content. When it's comedy content, me and Nat are truly writers. We were with the writers on their strike in solidarity.
Yeah, this show's a lot different than No Chill because No Chill we like weeks of preparation. We're thinking about stuff to say and everything.
Yeah.
Here we just come on and just hang out.
We kind of just show up and hang out. Yeah, it's mostly just an excuse for us to hang out. Anybody who watches the show consistently knows it's just me and Nat wanted to hang out this month, and then we're like, well, all right, let's do it this time. Also,
thank you for letting me hang out.
You know what? Thank you for coming on, Danie.
Thank you.
That's the real thing. We've been seeing you in the chat the whole time. Like, when are we going to see Danie Joy? And sure enough, I hop on in, look in that little screen bar, and there she is, waiting on the bottom. Look at that.
I was.
Look at us. Look at us right here.
I'm not going to lie. I clicked on the link as soon as Nat sent it, and then no one showed up for a little while. I stayed on for maybe like 5 minutes.
That's pretty
good. Come on at the last second.
And then because Nat sent that like at 7:30, my time, the 30 minutes before the start time. So I clicked just in case, and I was like, okay, no one's here. I waited 5 minutes. Okay, whatever. And then I came back like at the 45. No one was in there. And I was like, okay. I was there for like 5 minutes. I waited for the 50. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to sneak in at the 55 because there's no way that they're not going to. So I was in here for a while.
Yeah. You're exposing you're exposing our professionalism on this.
Is this a secret?
No, listen, me and Nat.
If you've been watching Call to Action.
Call to Action, yes.
For an amount of time, my friend.
Correct. That we have notoriously ran late. That if we say that our start time is 8, that we are actually getting into the StreamYard about 8:20. Yeah. But here's the thing. Me and Nat have done our best to challenge that stereotype. We've almost always started it right on the dot. But it's becoming
not this episode. This is a bad example.
This is a bad example. But it's becoming a joke to us to see how close we can get it to the dot. We will be at like 8 and 49 seconds, and then join into StreamYard and be like, start the show right now. Why weren't you here? Like,
that was why when we started talking, I thought we were already live.
No, that's fair.
Assumed that okay, it's 8 o'clock. They're just gonna hit live as soon as they get here. So that was why I was in talking mode. Everyone missed the first 10 minutes of this conversation, where it was very cordial and very professional about coming back on and hanging out with everyone. But everyone missed it. You just heard me yelling from the restroom from that point on.
It's true. So you want to hear the funniest bit of C2A lore that's happened in regards to stream stuff in specific since like you've been on sabbatical is what I refer to it.
Okay.
Is that Jake comes on like every now and again, like often enough because it's Jake. And Jake came on and was like,
wait, Danny, do you know about this?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Every once in a while, I'll watch a stream. I will say anything in the chat.
No, I fucking know that you are. I know that every now and again you're secretly watching.
It's me. That one extra viewer that you see, it's me.
I knew it. I knew it. So here's the thing. Did you catch this episode? There was an episode where Jake was on, and we were talking shit to Jake, and we said something that he just had no rebuttal for. So he's like, fuck y'all. And he was hammered. And he's like, fuck y'all, I'm getting out of here. It's the whole stream. Does not leave the studio. Clicks the end stream button. Shuts the whole thing down. And me and Nat, I'm still laughing thinking about it. Me and Nat were just like crying in the StreamYard afterwards. We're like, and he like straight out hard left. And then we catch him in chat. We're like, Jake, you shut the whole fucking stream down, you idiot. Like,
I was not there for that one.
it was so good.
If you're looking for this video and any new viewers that we have, you can't watch it because Jake hid it. He hid the video.
He hid
was
it.
So hammered. Yeah. He was unemployed at the time, so it would have hurt his job search.
This wasn't the Jake is Hot Garbage episode.
No. That was a different episode.
Which is really funny that it's a whole unrelated episode, but
I think I watched one time where like I can't remember if Jake had either just gotten back from the hospital or was like going to the hospital and ended the stream, like left the stream because he was gonna go to the hospital. But there was something with Jake in a hospital at one time. Maybe I'm misremembering this. No, but I feel like that happened at some point.
That sounds right. Like
it sounds right, but I can't remember that at all. I can't tell you if it happened.
Oh man. Anyways.
Yeah, Jake has definitely hid that episode because wherever it was not that far back, but wherever it was, it is well hidden and gone.
He did make it private, so you have to be logged on to the account to see it.
Can I? Oh god, that's more work than I care to do. Wait, yeah, no, I can't. It's a Switch account. No,
you found it.
I'm not logged into C2A YouTube.
Oh,
damn, that's too much work. Nat,
I think I am on my YouTube Studio app. I think I'm still logged in.
Check it. Check to see.
I'll have to, but not while I'm on camera right now. Sorry.
If you can do that, and if you can send us the link, we can pull it up.
Hold on, let me see.
I feel like, I mean, Jake is employed now, but I feel like I don't want to put that. I feel like we shouldn't put that on screen just because he was hammered.
Okay, well, we'll end the stream. That'll be the thing we wrap with, but I definitely want to watch that, like, with Danie after the fact, though.
No, okay. I just have the call to action drive.
Darn. Okay.
Yeah.
So, something else that's really funny to me, I forgot all about the fact that we did the Jake is a Hot Garbage episode, and it's the only one that we've had a thumbnail on for, like...
Yeah.
It's for over a year. It's been the last time that we had a thumbnail on this.
On the Twitch Tuesday ones?
Yeah. Okay, real quick, and then we'll start to wind this down because once we hit 2 hours, it's most people's bedtimes.
Yeah.
Danie, I want you to tell me, is Jake the asshole in this situation? All right. So here's the sitch. Jake was at his house, chilling, drinking Bud Light, and his neighbors, as he was driving back home or something, were throwing a party. Now, this is like a block away, maybe two. He like has never said anything to them. They're just kind of like neighborhood neighbors, right? So they're throwing a party. They're being loud. And Jake decides he's going to pack up a bunch of beer. Now, mind you, this is also in the South, so that context is important. He loads up on a bunch of beer, stinking of weed like he usually does, I'm sure, and goes over to this party, and he proceeds to just sit there and try to hang out. And he now, in our side of this, he's messaging the chat, and he's like, these people suck. They've barely given me any food, like any plate of food, and they're like not really chatting with me that much.
No, he was upset that there was no barbecue.
Yes, that was the thing. He was upset.
He was mad that there wasn't any food.
That there was no barbecue in specific.
Okay.
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 Based on strictly that information.
Mind you, they're strangers. He does not know these people.
He does not
I'm
know.
on Jake's side.
You're on Jake's side.
Listen,
These guys suck.
the context is that he's in the South.
Yes.
There's a neighborhood party going on.
Uh-huh.
He takes his own beer, goes
making
to
a
the
safe
party,
Yes.
and sits, which is honestly
Pretty chill.
kind of something that I think is not normal. It's not
No.
that it's normal.
The Southern context that flies, though. That 100% flies. Listen.
That's the part that we have.
Yeah.
That's the context that we have to.
If that context isn't there, Jake's 100% the asshole.
100%, because but I've also been to I feel like I've been to parties in New York, and you can kind of just walk into a party if you have your own case and just kind of sit down.
That has not been my experience in New York. No.
Okay.
It has in
I've
college.
only
It's a
visited.
different world in New York.
In college,
visited.
the college bubble is entirely different than everything else, right?
Yeah.
But
So here's the follow-up piece of information that I withheld from you.
okay.
It was a 10-year-old's birthday party.
Absolutely not, Jake. Go the fuck home. Go the fuck home, Jake. Go home. Absolutely not. No. What are you doing there, buddy? Go home. I'm so sorry.
Jake is the asshole.
Jake is the asshole.
Can we clip that? Can we just clip Danie saying that? I'm absolutely going to after this.
No.
Anyway, guys, that's our show. Thank you so much, Danie, for coming out and joining us with it. That's why we continue to host this show, is to drag all of our members out of hiatus and to hang out with us.
Thank you.
If you wanna support us, make sure to support us over on Patreon. Danie runs that, and we'll be sure to. Oh, yikes!
I'm gonna leave now. Bye, everyone.
No, Danie. That's the no chill bit that I was wanting to do earlier.
Honestly, worst nightmare.
It is.
I have nightmares about you confronting me about this. Yes.
Sis, listen. You already know how I feel. You already
No.
You already know how I feel. Anyway, guys, that's our show. We're gonna go raid Sasha Grey, so make sure to hang tight.
Can't do that.
And you know what? If we don't see you by Thanksgiving, have a happy Thanksgiving. Eat up all the pumpkin while you can. It's about to be peppermint season.